by a fella who's seen a thing or two. Now let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself here. Have you ever found yourself downright irritated by the fact that you're a good person? I mean, really, you were probably raised right. Manners, morals, the whole Sunday school starter pack. Told to always tell the truth, help little old ladies cross the street, do your best, and never, under any circumstances, raise your voice at the dinner table. Well, congratulations. You just might be one of the finest suckers this world's ever seen. Now hold on, don't go getting your feelings all ruffled. I say this with love, 'cause I've been you. And I've seen what happens to folks like us when we play by the book in a world that's been using the pages for kindling since the 80s. Let's talk about villains. And I ain't talking about cartoon villains with curly mustaches and maniacal laughs. I'm talking about real-life scoundrels. Loudmouths, con artists, corner cutters, folks who could sell you a bucket of mud and convince you it's holy water blessed by the Pope himself. You know the type. They're everywhere. Boardrooms, social feeds, dating apps, city councils. They cheat, lie, manipulate, and still get promotions, followers, and holiday bonuses. Meanwhile, good old you show up on time. You stay late. You write thank you emails. You follow the damn rules. And somehow, you still end up feeling like you're the one being played. And that, my friend, is where we got to slow the hell down and rethink a few things. You see, most folks confuse being good with being ethical. But those ain't the same horses, not by a long shot. A good person, as society defines it, is someone who plays nice, doesn't ruffle feathers, keeps her hands clean, their opinions quiet, and their head down. But here's the kicker. Sometimes the rules they're following are dumber than a bag of hammers. Ethics now, that's a different beast. That's when you got your own inner compass, not the GPS you borrowed from your pastor, your mama, or LinkedIn influencers, but your own. It's when you do right 'cause it's right, not 'cause somebody's watching or expecting it. And let me tell you, an ethical man will break rules that deserve to be broken. He'll piss off powerful people if he must. He'll stand alone if the truth demands it. That ain't easy, but it's real. And like old Lao Tzu said, the wise man does not lay up treasure. The more he gives to others, the more he has. So here's the rub. The reason all them good people keep getting stomped on in life. They mistake compliance for virtue. They follow systems without asking if the system's worth a damn. They do what's expected instead of what's necessary. Next thing you know, you're sitting in some beige office listening to a guy named Kyle explain synergy while you try to remember the last time you felt anything that resembled purpose. Y'all, goodness without discernment ain't virtue. It's just camouflage for fear. Fear of conflict, fear of rejection, fear of thinking for yourself. And while you're busy being agreeable, the slick-tongued weasels are out there making moves, shaking hands, and closing deals, sometimes with your damn ideas. Let me put it plain. If you're spending your life trying to be what everyone else calls good, you're setting yourself up for a slow-burning kind of soul death. You'll be liked, maybe, but you'll also be invisible, replaceable, and exhausted. And don't think I'm saying you got to turn into some heartless snake to survive. Nah. But you do need to grow a spine sturdy enough to tell the difference between what the world wants from you and what your spirit knows is right. Because when your whole identity is built around approval, you become easy to control. You say yes when you ought to say hell nah. You stay silent when your gut is screaming. You play it safe. And then wonder why your life feels like a padded cell with a coffee machine. It's like the Tao Te Ching says, when the people of the world all know beauty as beauty, there arises the recognition of ugliness. Ain't that something? Sometimes our idea of goodness is just a socially acceptable form of cowardice. So here's my invitation, dear reader or Listener, if this is going up on that YouTube you kids love, don't be good, be true. Be stubborn when it matters. Be quiet when the world's loud. And be loud when silence feels like betrayal. Break dumb rules. Protect your fire. Say no and mean it. Be gentle, but not soft-headed. And most of all, trust yourself more than you trust the system. Because the system wasn't made for your liberation. It was made for your cooperation. And brother, that ain't the same thing. When being good ain't enough, why the loudest ones run the show and what you're gonna do about it. Now let me tell you something else, and I want you to hear it deep in your bones. A whole mess of good folks out there are doing a fine job of absolutely nothing. That's right, nothing. They sit on the couch, griping at the world like it owes them a refund. Good intentions and no action, like a tractor with no gas. Looks impressive, but it sure as hell ain't plowing any fields. These folks got opinions on everything. The price of eggs, the war over yonder, that dang celebrity party, climate change, fashion trends, what's wrong with the youth these days. You name it, they've got a take. But ask them what they're doing about any of it. Well, shoot, they'll mumble, they'll sigh, they'll quote scripture, but they won't move. They'll look up to the sky and wait for some kind of divine smiting to rain down on the wicked. Meanwhile, those wicked folks, they're out there winning. You see, bad people, and yeah, they're a nasty bunch, they ain't bad by accident. No, sir. They got themselves a game plan, a purpose. They hustle, they scratch and claw. They wear them ridiculous clothes and cuss on live streams and cause a ruckus, all because it gets them what they want. And they don't sit around waiting for no heavenly justice. They take what they can while they can. Now, I ain't saying we ought to become like them. Lord, no. Lao Tzu warned us clear, if you compete with no one can compete with you. But he also said, those who stand on tiptoe do not stand firm. And ain't that just like the loudmouths, always reaching for attention but never rooted in any real truth? Thing is, the universe don't care who's loudest. It don't take sides, not for the saints or the sneaks. It's more like a mirror. You throw kindness into it, kindness comes back. You sling filth, well, sooner or later, you're going to be knee-deep in the mess you made. That's what we forget. Good or bad, you get what you send out. It's like planting seeds. You don't scream at a tree for not bearing fruit the day after you plant it. You water it, you tend it, and one day it gives back. But if you never plant nothing, don't expect a harvest. And that's the problem with too many good folks. They ain't planting much. They're sitting in the bleachers while the bad guys run wild on the field. They shake their heads and say, somebody ought to do something. Well, brother, you are somebody. If you don't act, your goodness don't mean much more than a screen door on a submarine. I'll tell you another thing. Good people are everywhere. They just ain't loud, ain't flashy, ain't begging for likes and retweets. So it might feel like the world's overrun by monsters, but it ain't. It's just that the monsters got better PR. You want to change the world? Then don't just gripe about how broken it is. Don't just pray that justice will eventually smack the bad guys upside the head. Do something. Something real. Something small even. But act. Be like the folks who changed history, not by yelling, but by standing tall. I'm talking about the quiet warriors, the teachers, the nurses, the single parents, the community elders, the folks who show up day after day doing good without needing a parade. You want to be one of them? Then start by not waiting. Start by speaking when silence feels safe. Help someone. Build something. Write something. Plant something. Fix what's in your reach. As Lao Tzu would say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath your feet, not someone else's, yours. And here's your deep down truth, partner. There will be folks who cheat the system, who grab the spotlight and milk it dry. But the universe, she don't hand out free passes forever.
that energy circles back around like a mean old rooster coming home to roost. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in the end, the books always get balanced. So quit waiting for karma to do your dirty work. That ain't her job. She don't carry your grudges. She just keeps the scale level. You want peace? Then you better get involved in making it. You want goodness to win? Then stand up for it, live it, and don't be afraid to get a little dirt on your boots while doing it. Now look, you ain't got to be perfect. You ain't got to be a saint. But you damn sure better be real. Real with your fear. Real with your choices. Real with your voice. Because this world don't need another passive good guy. It needs men and women with hearts like firewood, steady, solid, ready to burn bright when it's cold outside. Folks who act not because it's trendy, but because it's true. So here's your fork in the road, partner. Will you keep shouting at the TV screen, hoping someone else fixes things? Or will you step off that porch, straighten your spine, and do the hard, quiet work of being a good soul who acts? Remember, even in a world without swords, you can still be a warrior. Not with anger, not with noise, but with truth and courage and motion. Because the universe ain't watching your thoughts, she's watching your footsteps. So go ahead, stand up, speak out, and let your actions prove what your heart already knows. Goodness isn't weakness. It is the strongest force there is when it finally quits apologizing and starts moving.